Okay, I'm going to show you how to size the shapes and make the cut. I used the SVG file from Treasure Box Designs. It's called Spooky Buttons, and I'm going to open that onto my mat, and I'm going to pull it so it's bigger, and I'm going to right click, Shape Magic, Split, because I want to break them all into their own individual pieces. I'm going to grab the witch hat and pull it over here. I'm going to grab the boot, and I'm also going to grab the ghost. Those are the three shapes that I'm going to be using. I'm going to highlight the rest of the shapes, right click, and delete. Alright, I'm going to grab all three of these shapes, and I'm going to go down here to this little button, and I'm going to put to each its own. I'm going to put each shape on its own layer so I can work with them all individual. The first one I'm going to work with is the boot, and I'm going to break the boot apart because I want to get, actually I'm just going to go to Shape Magic and Blackout. That's going to get rid of the two little, oh wait, I don't want to do that, sorry. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to Shape Magic, I want to break it. I actually want to use those. Okay, and now I'm going to grab them both, and I'm going to put them at a ½ inch high. And that makes them the size that I want them. They need to be a ½ inch in diameter for the pencils to fit through. I'm going to rotate them 90 degrees because that's how they're going to be on each piece. And then I want them exactly an inch apart, and it looks like that's exactly what they are. So I'm going to leave them exactly the way this is. I'm going to leave it. I am going to right click on it and copy. Then I'm going to go over here and click onto the hat layer, and I'm going to click again and put paste in place. Now there's a pair on the hat layer. I'm going to click the spooky buttons, and I'm going to do the same thing, paste in place, and now there's a layer in the ghost. If you look over here where the layers are, you can see there's now two little holes on the hat layer and two holes on the ghost layer. And we're going to close the eyes on these for a minute, so because I'm not going to be working with those right now. Let's work with the boot. So now I'm going to go to the boot layer, and I'm going to select the boot, and I want to make these, I used a ruler and held it up to my pencil and kind of figured out the sizes I wanted. So I want to make this 3 1/4 inch high, I'm sorry, 3 1/2 inch. Excuse me, but that makes it too wide. So I'm going to undo this little lock here. I'm going to click it. It's going to unlock it, which means now I can change the width to 3.5 without it changing the height. So now my boot is 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, which is what I wanted. So now I'm going to select the holes, and I'm going to bring them over here and figure out where I want to place them. And I think I want them right about like that. So I'll leave those there, just like that. And then I'm going to highlight the boot and the circles. I'm going to right click, Shape Magic, and I'm going to join them. And that puts the holes in the boot. So now our boot's finished. So I'm going to move the boot over here, and I'm going to come over here to the layer, and I'm going to hide it. I'm going to close the eye, and now I'm going to do the witch hat. So I'm going to click on the eye and open the eye, and I'm going to grab the hat and bring it over here. I'm going to right click it, Shape Magic, Blackout to get rid of the two holes. And now we need to resize it, and my hat is going to be a little bit bigger. and I'm going to lock it for a minute and see. My height, I want it to be 3.85. Let me zoom down my mat here. Okay, now that makes it almost 6 inches wide, so that's not going to work. So I want to unlock the lock, and I'm going to change this to 3.75, and that makes it a better size. I know that I want it to be between right around 3.5 inches, but I think I'm going to go a little bit bigger with the hat just because it's not as bulky as the boot is. The boot, if you look at the boot's a little bit more bulky. The hat's a little bit thinner, so I think I can get away with going a little bit bigger on the hat. So I'm going to do, let's turn the boot off. I'm going to do 3.85 on the hat for the height and 3.75 for the width. And then I'm going to take the holes and I'm going to move them over, and I think I'm going to put them right about like that. And then I'm going to highlight, and this is kind of all, when you do stuff like this, it's kind of trial and error. What I'll do is I'll cut all these out on white paper first, and then if they work, then I'll use my pattern paper. I don't want to ruin my designer pattern paper. So if there's anything that I'm doing that's kind of like this where I'm not really sure, I always do it. I always cut it out on just, you know, a white cardstock or any kind of scrap paper that I might have. Okay, so the hat's done. We're going to close the eye, and then we're going to do the exact same thing with the ghost. We are going to pull him over here, right click, Shape Magic, Blackout, and we want to make him 4¼ tall. I'm going to make him, since he's kind of skinny, I'm going to make him a little bit taller. And I'm not going to worry about his width because his width is his width, and I think he'd look kind of funny if I made him wider. So I'm going to undo that. There we go. Okay, so we'll leave him the same width. I'm going to grab the circles, bring them over, and I know I don't want it on his face because I'm going to stamp his face with a peachy keen, so I want to bring the holes down here. I also want to tie the ribbon around his neck, so I don't want the hole to be right where the ribbon is. So I'm going to bring it kind of down right about there. It's probably good right there. Okay, now I'm going to select all, right click, Shape Magic, and join. So there you have it. There's the 3 shapes, and I'm going to go cut these out, and I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to put these fun little pencil toppers together. I already put these 2 together. So I'm going to put the ghost together, and I'm going to use this pencil. And I purchased these pencils, I think I got them at Michael's. And I'm not sure if they were in the dollar section or if they were as you go up to the checkout stand, but I got them at Michael's. So I cut my ghost out, and I think I'm going to put a peachy keen face on him. And I'm going to use this face, and this face is from the PK690 Make a Monster face assortment. And I'm using the biggest one, the 1 inch. And I'm going to use some black ink to put his face on. I just thought it'd be fun to change it up a bit. I could leave his face off, but okay. Well, there's his face, and I just use a Q-tip. You can use lots of different things, but I like to use a Q-tip, and I'm just gonna rub his cheeks on there really lightly. And you can erase chalk, so if you get a little too much on there, you can always use a white eraser and pull some of it off. And I like that. And then I'm just going to give him a little bit of color to his tongue. And I like to use these Glazé pens, and I got these at Michael's. I've also seen them at Joann's and Hobby Lobby. I'm going to use the red one. Make his tongue red. Just like that. I will put that aside. I'm going to do the tag. These have little tags on them with little sentiments, and I used the My Creative Time Teeny Tag Greetings. I used the little tag die that's included in this set, and it's just a little metal tag die, and I used the sentiments from Treats for My Sweet. There are 3 sentiments on this set that can be used with that die. So we're going to use the Just Say Boo sentiment today. Okay, I cut my tag out already, and all the papers that I used on today's project are from Echo Park's collection, Chillingsworth Manor, and Emma has this in the My Creative Time store, so if you haven't picked this up yet and you've been looking for it, she has them. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the tag. Okay, just like that. And his face should be dry by now. So we'll slip him on, and I'm going to go up, in, and back like that. I'm going to attach him just at the very top, like that. I am going to use a Zot to hold him in place, and I'm using the small Zots, and I get these at Joann's. I think they have them at Michael's too, but I always get them when they're on sale at Joann's. And I'm just going to stick it on the pencil right where his head is going to hit. There we go. And that just holds him in place so he doesn't slide. And I think I'm going to use some black ribbon just to mix it up a bit. And I'm just going to pull it, tie it around his neck, and just tie it in a bow. And then to attach the little tag, I'm just going to use a small piece of black and white twine. And I purchased this from Trendy Twine. And I'm just going to loop it underneath right next to the bow that I already created. And then I'm going to put the tag on. So there's my finished pencil topper. I just fiddled with the bow until I got it where I wanted it and got the little tag where I wanted it. And it's finished. It turned out really cute. These are really cute and pretty simple to do, and kids could even do these. So anyway, if you have any questions, you can leave a comment on this video, or you can leave a comment on my blog. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.